Welcome everyone to State of the Republic podcast, World Cup edition. We are really excited to be able to talk more about the Mexico and the U.S. games as they happen in this World Cup. Of course, we know today we had the USA versus Wales game, so really looking forward to talking about it and hearing everyone's thoughts on it as well. But before we get started, let's go ahead and play our introductory video, and we'll be back in less than a minute. All right, and we are back. I just realized that I didn't have any music on this intro too. I think I got the wrong file on here. But other than that, let's go ahead and introduce our co-hosts tonight. First, let's go all the way over to Elk Grove with Sharon. How's it going? How was the watch party like?
Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking because I just threw a comment in the chat saying that I understand that many of the watch parties were pretty awesome. And there were a lot of them in Sacramento. So I will tell you, I think I am, my liver is finally better. There was a lot of fun happening at the watch party I went to. I ran into Chrissy and I ran into Rave Bear, and there were just a ton of great people at the watch party that I attended. And I sure hope to goodness everybody can go to a watch party on Friday. Doesn't matter where you go. I was hesitant to go, honestly, you guys, because sometimes when you're anxious about a match, you just want to be home and just watch it. But this was a very fun experience. I would recommend a watch party to anybody.
Especially when you're with the supporters group, right? The American Outlaws there. I mean, that's
Exactly.
gotta be something
and
else.
at some point in the show, I will show you some of this. I bought 2 scarves. I gave a scarf. So we'll talk about that later.
Oh, nice. Cool. And next, let's go all the way over to Sacramento. He's not in his car this time. He's not at Target, but he is at someone's house. William, how's it going, man?
Hey there, folks, everyone, Louise, and even Sharon. Yeah, everything's great right now. So I'm right here at my sister house in Folsom, trying to have a Thanksgiving dinner going on. So right now I'm still joining with you guys, actually.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you for joining us here tonight. Next, let's go all the way over to the land where it's usually hot. It is a lot warmer than it is here with us, and we're kind of envious around this time. We're not so envious in the summer, but right now we wish it could be a little bit warmer here. But how's it going, Jared?
Doing excellently. And as far as the cold, the 4 months of intense heat makes the winter all worth it. Right now it's a balmy 64 degrees here in the West Valley, but I wish I was actually at the watch parties in Sacramento earlier today, but unfortunately I had this thing called work I had to do, so that kind of gets in the way, just a little. But everything looked great from what I've seen at the match and some of the videos I've seen of the watch parties out there. But let's get into it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just looking at the weather here. It's 51 degrees here, but lows of 33. So fun weather right now. And it's probably only gonna get cooler too. But you know where it's not so cool is in the World Cup, because it is really, I mean, it's really hot for most of the players just because they're probably not used to California weather, right? But I mean, they're in the mid 80s, but still, I mean, a World Cup in the winter in mid 80s. I don't think anyone of us ever thought we'd be even saying those words, but here we are, looking at a World Cup around this time, and yeah, hoping that the players could, give us their best game. And I know that a lot of the stadiums do have air conditioning, so there's that. And from what I hear, they say it's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's not, just like a little bit of AC. You're getting like full blast winter weather inside a stadium. So interesting how they did that. Um, but thank you to the people who are tuning in right now. Please give us your comments on anything, regarding this game, and want to hear your thoughts. Who was your man of the match? What was your moment? And what's your outlook as we look at the two remaining games in this group? And I'm curious to hear what everyone's. I mean, it's a tie. It's a 1-1, but anything can happen. I mean, it's only 1 point that we have, and we could kind of go back and forth with that here later on. But let's go ahead and just give our thoughts overall on this 1-1 tie. We started off in the first half winning 1-0, and then, of course, towards the end of the second half, we get tied. And what other guy than Garrett Bale, right? Who's used to tying matches pretty late in the game, right? But let's go ahead and go in screen order here. I'll put myself here in the corner here, but let's go in screen order here. Everyone's thoughts.
I guess that would start with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead, Sharon.
Screen order is what is it, left to right? And I think I'm far left, so we're doing a Z as in Zorro. Okay. So here's the deal. I liked the starting lineup. I don't care what anybody says. I love Reem. I like Walker Zimmerman. As a matter of fact, if you ask anybody who is at the watch party, every time Walker Zimmerman touched the ball, I hollered out Walker Zimmerman. Had nothing to do with shots of Jameson, but it got out of my mouth because I like him. And I thought Turner did a great job in the nets. I actually really liked the starting lineup. I thought our pressure was good. Thank goodness we were able to finish a ball on a squeaker that looked almost offsides, but it wasn't. And it's like, how do you figure that, Weah ends up getting the goal, considering his cousin that played with us didn't play that same style of soccer. So at the end of the day, Greg Berhalter, I think, put together a really good system for Wales. Unfortunately, Walker Zimmerman ended up doing that stinking foul at the end of the match and gave a PK opportunity, and Turner dove in the correct direction. He probably could have gotten a finger on it or a fingertip on it, and he just didn't. It's just one of those things. You can't rewind the clock. And even though we had oodles of extra time to maybe go ahead, we didn't. So there was one omission, and I'm hoping to see him on Friday, and that was Gio Reyna. That was a player I would have liked to have seen come in the subbing order, but instead that didn't happen. We had Jordan Morris coming in, and so I don't know. What did you guys think of the starting lineup and the system of play and the general tactics? William?
Well, my opinion for this U.S. men's starting 11 lineup, it went pretty good. Although it does seem to be got a lot more perfectable improvements going on in the second half, which I did listen it on the radio recently. So the only thing how easily because of the first half, it went pretty well, pretty excellent, because I'm so glad that Wall finally have an opportunity to have the first pro goal. It went amazingly good. On the second half, yeah, it is a little bit of a surprisable change until Zimmerman incidentally trying to have some obvious foul, and then a goalkeeper wanted to be allowed as a penalty kick to let Gareth Bale to be doing the penalty kick, and it did. And so because I do know Gareth Bale for a while, because I've seen Gareth Bale's activity when he did previously play against LAFC back then, since a few weekends ago, because he did manage to be having a less a last minute goal back then until PPK challenges came ahead and let LAFC won, and then back on to the and now returning on this game. However, it did also went as a PPK goal very well for a Gareth Bale, and it did tremendously well effort to make Wales to have a tie score of 1-1. And yeah, it is a pretty challenging task between US and Wales, but I think US needs to be improved much more often in order to be prepared to prepare for the next match against England, because I know England has gone very well received to have 6 massive goals, and I was like, oh, it's going to be a little challenging, but I'm sure it might be go well ahead into the next phase, because I'm sure the US soccer can be able to improve at this point.
Sounds good. Jared, your thoughts?
Well, for the first World Cup match in 8 years for the U.S. team, they really didn't do too bad. I mean, I did also remember hearing Landon Donovan also ask where Gio was during this whole match. Towards the post-match, he was asking about that. But as far as during the game, U.S. definitely gave it their all. Saw them punch that first goal in, and thankfully that happened, because earlier on in the match I was seeing one Welsh player that was just got himself in the middle of 2 incidents that he managed to get the Americans yellow carded. So I'm still trying to figure out with Google Translate how to say I want to thank the Academy in Welsh. But in second half, I mean, U.S. were definitely hammering it in. They were giving it all their best. There was one cheeky kick that Wales had that nearly snuck in at the very bottom corner, but thankfully the goaltender was able to keep that away. But then a short time later, we did see that penalty kick that Wales had, and that equaled it up. And unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of time left other than the 9 minutes of stoppage time in the second half. But obviously, Wales is not one to be slept on this year. So it was definitely a good challenge. But we'll see how Friday goes. Luis?
I mean, I think that there should have been a game that we should have gotten the 3 points. No doubt about it. That we let go of 2 points tonight. I mean, we didn't gain a point. I feel like we lost. Even though we saw the tie, you had a first half where possession was like 70% for the US. You had more opportunities. They could have been winning 2-0 right at the end of the first half. And sadly, that didn't happen. And, it's one of those things, we know how the sport works. If you don't take advantage of your opportunities, then you let your opponent have an opportunity at, tying the game, even potentially winning the game, right? Because if y'all remember there towards the end of the second half, after they tie, there was one play where Turner came out, and I know, Jared, you're having vibes to Danny V's moment as well. And I was like, oh no, Gareth Bale's going to get the ball. He's going to pull this like midfield shot. He's going to score. But luckily, Acosta was right there to foul. I mean, he like nearly grabbed his teammate from LAFC, I should also add, which is kind of funny right there. But luckily he was there. Otherwise, who knows? I mean, Gareth Bale's got a strong shot, and who knows what would have happened there. But yeah, risky going out, I think, at that minute, but it worked.
Yeah, I mean, I almost yelled out, "Get back on the line, Danny!" out of muscle memory. But then I realized our season's over. It's a World Cup. Shut up and watch the match, Jared.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was basically, my thought on that. But I mean, first half, awesome. You couldn't even tell that this team was playing a World Cup for the first time. And Weah's goal was just so awesome, right? You had the speed, you had everything. It all worked out good. Pulisic, he had some good opportunities. He had some good passes there, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get his goal. But I mean, they played good. They just need to learn from their mistakes in the second half, and just remember, every game is 90 minutes plus, right? And not just 45 minutes. So, we just have to, hope that they learn from this too. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, not the kind of game that we wanted. We wanted to get the 3 points, but I mean, we'll see in about a week and a half if it's okay, or if we just lost our qualification in this match.
So let me ask you this. I know it's not on any of the tickers, but in the past, Christian Pulisic has been Berhalter's captain, but not today. So, there's a significance there as far as not having him as captain, but having Adams as the captain, which I really approve of. I thought that was great. What are your guys' thoughts about just having no pressure on Pulisic, but yet having Adams as our captain? What do you think?
Well, in my opinion, Adams as a captain, it did work out very well often, because I do remember recalling, because earlier during the international friendlies match, because I know Christian was a captain past. I think he maybe a little bit fell off at the time being, because I think his play, including the whole U.S. team, they even gone a little bit jumping a juggernaut at this point. So back on into that match currently and today, I do believe that Adam has done tremendously well. He has been much more perfectly responsive to his teammates, and it did play very well accordingly. So,
right. So it sounds like
Adam,
it sounds like you're good with having the pressure off of Christian so that he can just play his game. And it looks like Tyler Adams is a well-received captain, because he can handle the pressure of being a captain, and he did really well. I mean, even though there were some close calls where he almost got carded, he did come to his teammates' defense every single time that there was a card shown. He was there as he's supposed to be, to talk to the referee and understand the situation. So I don't think Adams' play was at all affected by the fact that he was wearing the captain's armband. So yay for that. Jared, what do you think about the Adams Pulisic switch?
I like it. It takes a lot of pressure off of Pusilic's plate, and puts a lot of responsibility on Adams. That's always a great chance to shine right in the middle of the biggest stage in the world. So I definitely agree with that, and of course it also gives other opportunities around the roster as well. So far, that tactic seems to be working. So if there's any improvement on it, maybe I'm not seeing it, but this is working good so far with Adams wearing the armband. Luis.
I think it was a good move, right? You put the pressure off him, and it's a World Cup squad, like we mentioned before, that for the most part, most of the players, they're experiencing the first World Cup, right? I think it's only Yedlin, right? The only player who's actually gotten experience playing in a World Cup. So I feel like the captain armband is like up for grabs at that point, because you don't really have a player that really could make an argument for it. And you see how it works. I mean, they're working towards 2026 and getting the future generation and a really tough team for that World Cup. And I think it's good to start prepping him, and I could see him being the captain in the next one too. So it's good that they do that, because at the end of the day, you want to give other players that empowerment, right? And not only depend on Christian for everything. So
I agree. Definitely 100% right.
Yeah. So let's talk about the officiating. My personal opinion, I thought it was fair, balanced on both sides. A lot of people are like sniping on social media that the officiating was, crap. I don't believe that to be true. I think there was equal things called on both sides. There were equal mistakes, and that there were equal favoritism, so to speak. I didn't see during the whole match any poor officiating. The offsides were called appropriately. VAR was used appropriately. I don't have any complaints. Walker Zimmerman did foul, you know, so you can't complain about the PK because it was in the box and it was a clear foul. So what are you going to do? I mean, was it unfair? I want to go to you first, Luis.
I really wanted to say that the PK was unfair, but I watched a couple of replays, and as much as I want to say that, it really was a penalty, right? I mean, it really was something that they had a call, and that, you know, the decision would have been kept either way, right? So, I mean, it was all Zimmerman there on that end, and, you know, that's all we could really say on that play there. But overall, the referee, you could tell that it was his first World Cup too, right? The referee's from Qatar. As a referee who's probably only, you know, been referee in that league, and it not being a league that's too competitive, right? Or one that really even shines in the international stage, even, you know, in their Asia Champions League. I think that, you know, we could clearly see that. And the thing that bothered me about the referee was the yellow cards. There were a lot of them that he rushed way too into pulling them. And then the first half, there were some fouls that weren't getting yellows for Wales, and then vice versa. So, I mean, he was kind of all over the place. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've been instructed to get more yellow cards or what. But, yeah. And then I remember, you know, even to not say that it was all, you know, against us or whatnot, there was the yellow card that Bale got. Wasn't even a yellow card at all. It was a clean tackle, too. And I believe, I mean, the people narrating the game were saying that they were thinking that it must have been because he was actually saying that it wasn't right, and he may have like said something to the ref or what. But yeah, I mean, it was bad on both sides, and hopefully things get better and we don't talk about that as much, because, you know, you guys know what happened in the game we saw yesterday between Qatar and Ecuador, right? Ecuador's like fair goal that they called offside in VAR, and everyone was wondering like, what's going on? Like, is this what's going to be happening all the time? But yeah, I hope that we see good refs and that they don't, you know, determine results. But this game, I mean, we can't blame it on the ref on us tying the match or all that too. I can't see that too. I know there's been some things going around. I'd have to go back and look at the entire play, but I know one of the players was saying that the play that lets the PK was an out of bounds play if you go way back. But I mean, yeah, who knows? I have to go back and check that. But yeah, I mean, all was fair in my opinion. It's just the referee could be a little better. But no Melvin Rivas, at least, right, Jared?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, granted, the first yellow card was kind of embellished. I mean, the fact that the Welsh player decided to yell, "Ah!"
Yeah,
it's like, "Hello, ah, yellow, hello," and that pretty much got the yellow against us. And then the second one, that was kind of a 50-50 on that one, but still, you know, these are brand new referees, Qatari officials. Probably all they've been doing is Asian Football Confederation matches. So of course there's going to be a little bit of a green to them, you know, a little wet behind the ears. But other than those yellow cards, it was more or less down the line. Certainly better than the Melvin Rivas match. So not too many complaints. I mean, it could have been better, but could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Oh my goodness. You brought up Melvin Rivas one more time, and that's fine. It will never die.
He did first. He was the man that mentioned it first.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
When we talk referees, you know that man is gonna have, his name is gonna pop up.
Good gravy.
Mamma mia.
Poor guy, huh? But hey, you know,
I want to say something of mine that I would love to name after him, but we'll save that for another time.
Ooh, yeah, because this is not State of the Republic After Dark version. Okay, fine.
This is a family broadcast.
Right.
Sort of.
So here I'm showing off, I think it's backwards, but I'm showing off one of the scarves that I picked up today for only $20, and they had a limited number of them here. So it's called Hella United, kind of patterned after Hella Sacramento, but they've been going around doing the Hellas for the longest time. And on one side, and
Cool.
United, it's really cool. So it's a bunch of the Northern California American Outlaw clubs. So they're all depicted here. All the American
Nice.
Outlaw clubs are depicted on the other side.
Unbelievable.
It was, this is an incredible scarf. And then my USA scarf was featured on KCRA, but I didn't even know that the camera was headed my way. And so if anybody watched the KCRA broadcast, you saw a woman in a light blue USA cap with this above her head, and that was me. So because I was at Henry's.
Nice.
I was at Henry's today. I'll tell you what, going back to watch parties, and then we're going to get into who we thought of man of the match was, and then the scenario for Group B. I would definitely do a watch party. I would tell anybody, if you could do a watch party on Friday, do it. Because I had the kind of good time that I had today. I don't know, maybe my liver needs a break. And maybe I won't do a watch party on Friday, but I'm so tempted to do a watch party on Friday. So either way.
Yeah, well, that's a really cool scarf, and I think I saw Modesto there too, and a couple other towns there. I'm assuming, is it like in every city where they have a chapter? Because I think they have a Outlaws
Yes,
group.
Northern California. So Fresno, Modesto, Oakland, Redding, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, and Santa Rosa all pitched in together. It was the San Francisco chapter that designed this particular scarf. And it's it's one of those silky ones. So pretty cool. And then I gave away a State of the Republic podcast scarf to the AO Sacramento guys because I was there so freakishly early. I was the first one there for like an hour. I was the only one there watching Senegal and Holland or Netherlands. I was the only one for an hour. It's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Give me a cup of coffee, please. Yeah, it was weird.
Hey, that means you got the best seat in the house then.
I
right?
certainly did. I had the best seat in the house. I did. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, yeah, I think it's really awesome to go to these watch parties, and they have them going on everywhere. I mean, I know Sac Republic has had some there too. And today they actually just announced for anyone who lives close to Stockton area, you can actually go watch it and actually get some pizza and drinks sponsored by the Stockton Cargo Soccer Club. So if anyone is in the area and you want some free pizza and some drinks to go along with that to watch the game on Friday, then go check them out too. It's gonna be at Michael's New York Pizza over there in Stockton. So check them out.
Man, that would be nice to go to.
Yeah, it is a good idea.
Are you gonna go, Luis?
Probably not myself, unfortunately, because I'll probably be trying to I'll probably be waking up like 30 minutes before the match because Thanksgiving. But but if anyone is in the area, I think it'd be really nice to go check out. And I don't know if do they have a group in Stockton, the Outlaws? Maybe
No.
Maybe
the
not.
closest
Okay.
one is Modesto.
Oh, okay, it's American Outlaws might be there, the Modesto one. Unless never mind. They actually go to another pub that's over on McHenry. If anyone is from the area.
So what you're telling me is, even though you don't drink, you're still not going to wake up till 10:30 in the morning on a Friday? Seriously,
And you're gonna turn down free pizza? What the hell?
what's going on?
Yeah, I know it's tough, but I mean, sleeping late. That's what gets to me. It's the same thing as just drinking. I think sleeping late.
So you keep the food coma from Thanksgiving going. Come on.
But plus, there's that too.
Whoa.
There will probably be like a lot of tamales left over, and it's
All
going
right.
to be tamale season. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's kind of weird me saying that during the World Cup too, right? It's like, oh, we're gonna, but yeah. So yeah, so check them out if you're in the area, or again, if you're in the Sacramento area, check out the Sac Republic feed. And there's a lot of bars, right? I feel like they listed like 4 or 5 places that have stuff going on. I don't know. Did Pete's have something? I mean, I was surprised not to see them there.
Yeah.
No,
the
not at
Sac
all.
Republic
Actually.
didn't post for Pete's. They posted Mimosa House, which has 5 locations, none of which were in Elk Grove. And then their main one was so close to their work, and that was the
The East Sacramento one.
No, house. No, it was downtown. The main one for Sac Republic was
It was. I believe it is the Firestone.
well,
Public
it's the
House,
old
right?
Firestone, but it's called
Yeah.
Public House now. So
It's
that
called
was
Public House
their
downtown.
their main one that they showed on their social media was Public House. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And it looks like you get 10% off your bill if you have Sac Republic gear or any World Cup team. So
Oh,
it's a pretty good deal.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea.
Yep. So, I mean, that may be a fun place to go next time because I think some of the staff will be there. I don't know, I don't know about players. There's other ones here and there. You're right. William, they had a couple of others that were in different locations, but you go where you want to go kind of thing.
Oh,
Yep,
Coach
I
Brits
am.
might be there.
Oh,
it
really?
is USA England.
I think he moved to Folsom.
Yeah, I think so too.
Currently,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Yeah, because I did see an Instagram post mentioning about his new favorite local. Yeah, with that being pub and whatnot. So that probably might have been a good clue on that.
Yeah,
Very well.
exactly right.
Mm-mm.
Because I am in Folsom, y'all. Whoop, whoop.
Are you really? What's going on in
Yeah.
Folsom?
Hanging out at my sister's house.
Okay.
Nice. Well, yeah. So hopefully some of the players go, and I mean, it'd be really cool to watch the game with Mark Briggs, right? When you imagine that.
Oh, that would be
USA
fun.
England going back and
It's a
forth.
good idea.
Oh,
It's a good idea.
Oh.
that's gonna be a fun morning.
Maybe Jack
Yep.
might be there. I don't know if he
Jack,
already left.
yeah. Because I've seen a Jacker's Instagram account activity recently because he is currently in Dubai watching the game this morning recently. So I believe he might be there on Friday actually.
Wait, he traveled then to World Cup land.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
exactly
think he's
right.
going to be anywhere on Friday except for away.
Wow. Hey, that's
True.
but yeah, he might actually be at the game literally. Wow, that's cool.
Oh yeah, at
Perhaps,
the game,
yeah.
literally, yes.
Nice. Hey,
Perhaps,
that's that. Hey, see what I'm always saying? There's Sac Republic representation everywhere you go, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
fan or player.
Not just for Jack, not just for Mark, but you have Danny Reynolds plus some former Republic FC players, including head coaches. So you currently have Paul Buckle, Wilson Nishaw. I believe I remember that player besides Wilson Nishaw, Tyler Blackwood, because they are in there as well,
Colby
including
also.
Mike Devontae as well.
Oh, Mike
Oh.
DeFont, yeah. So
Yeah.
none of them are in Qatar. So none of them
No.
are at the World Cup, but they're
Except
probably,
Jack, actually.
Yeah, they're
Except-
probably watching it, and Jack is there. Evan Ream is apparently there.
Yeah, I saw a couple of tweets from Evan Ream. It's thankfully he's not in immediate, but seeing a couple of his tweets has got me concerned. So hopefully
Ooh.
that's the worst I've seen of it. But it's definitely a fluid situation for some of the fans out there. I've already seen where broadcasters, news companies have not exactly been welcome with open arms, but hopefully that softens. I mean, I doubt it will, but I just hope that does, because it's supposed to be the largest stage on the world, and all eyes are on Qatar. So to our Qatari host, please be kind. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the man of the match.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and go in screen order here. What do you got, Jared? Yeah, that's a last minute swap there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I am gonna go with and I'm probably not too familiar with his last name with Woa, who scored the goal. I mean, that was
Tim Weah.
Weah,
Tim Weah?
yes.
Yeah.
Weah, yeah.
Weah, yes. My apologies, Weah. Yeah, he definitely put on a great clinic. Was able to push through Wales, get us on the board. And from what I've heard, that was the first time the USA have scored a goal against Wales since the 1950s, if I heard correctly. So definitely a bit of history there.
Interesting
Nice.
fact.
What about you, Will?
Okay, I know I've seen a football America's a clip recently, so it's right near between wall, including a Christian Pulisic, because I know a Christian Pulisic could be the man of the match, but however, I'll go with a Jared's answer because I know Wall has done a tremendously job to earn
Weah.
his first Weah, because Weah has earned his first pro goal. So I will go with Weah.
There you go. I'm actually going to go with who the U.S. men's national team picked and the broadcasters picked, and they picked Tyler Adams. I really, if Zimmerman hadn't done the big oof, I was going to pick him or even Matt Turner. I think it's great that Weah scored the goal, but if it wasn't for what Tyler Adams did to hold down the midfield and to actually just kind of keep everything knitted together, I'm going with the captain, the new captain. He's my man of the match.
Well, I think if we're just looking at overall man of the match, I'd definitely say Gareth Bale, just because he got the goal and because he caused the PK as well, right? And
Excuse me, but who do you want for the USA's man of the match? We don't care about the whole.
so just okay. I was trying to get all
Stop.
technical with it.
This is LAFC ideas, not.
I mean, I think if we look at the U.S. man of the match, I would go with Turner because he had some pretty good saves, right? And even the one that nearly gave Jared a heart attack, even that one, I mean, it's still worked out for him. And it's when you tie a game, and I mean, sometimes when you lose a game too, right? You end up finding that your own man of the match for your team is your goalkeeper, and I think this is one where I saw that too, but I mean, I feel like we're pretty confident with him. I know he didn't, stop the Bale penalty, but I mean, that was a crazy, strong shot, but he was going in the direction of that, which is always great, right? At least like he got the right side. But I think he's a goalkeeper that is pretty confident for us. And I think that in any scenario, you can feel pretty confident having him there. And of course, he's not playing for Arsenal too. So, I mean, there's that too.
So, oh wait, okay, so we've all gone, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
So, okay. So here's the deal. We need to beat Iran, and we actually need to beat or tie England, because we are headed down a path of having the same freaking result as Wales. We tied Wales. Everybody expects Wales and the USA to beat Iran, considering the shelling that England gave Iran this morning. So then everybody expects England to beat Wales and the USA. So it puts us in literally a scenario where we could be identical to Wales going out. So it's almost like if we beat Iran, we have to run up the score, number one, and we have to play tough against. It's just not looking it's like we had to win this match against Wales. I mean, there was
Mhm.
nothing else that would have made me feel better about this whole Group B scenario. But that being said, let's shoot it to you, Jared. You like statistics.
Yeah, I mean, I actually watched a good chunk of the England-Iran match. Oh, yeah, Iran really didn't have any chance and all that. I mean, other than the 2 goals that they did manage, I mean, that kind of broke up the momentum. But I really don't see Iran beating the U.S. I mean, if it happens, well, it's not going to happen. I'll put it that way. And of course, England and USA, that's going to be the big heavyweight match right there. That is going to be too close to call. I can't really go either way. It'll surprise me if it ends up in a draw, but I think someone's got to win on Friday. But I have no idea who it's going to be. We'll just have to see how the matches against Iran and England go.
Rebecca Lowe says that the USA can't even hold a candle to England. Just the players, the talent. But I will say that a lot of people, including Ted Lasso's character, thinks that our squad doesn't say die. That's one of the attributes that we have, is that we just don't give up, and it's kind of like these feisty Americans, they just don't go away. So that's what we have going for us. Yay! Here's to 2026, but I don't want to say that too soon. So anyhow, next.
Oh dear. Oh,
Sorry.
yes.
Oh
Right.
boy.
I know it's getting a little bit silly right now. Yeah, because I know Friday it is USA against England, because I do recall the moment since both USA and England fought, which is back in World Cup 2010, and so far 0-0s. And so right now, for this Friday's matchup, I think it's going to be likely to what Jared mentioned earlier. It will be likely a drawn match, because I've seen some of progress very well for both England, including US men's. So yeah, it is a very neck and neck tie for sure, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Sharon. I feel like the 3 points tonight, we're going to be kind of reflecting back on them. Hopefully not for the bad. Hopefully it's just, oh, well, we lost first place, and that's what happened there. But I mean, if there's anything positive though that does come out of this, is that we're the ones that end up playing against Iran. So we're in like a little similar scenario that hopefully Mexico is not going to be in tomorrow, but we'll see how the result goes. But Mexico plays against Saudi Arabia, right, which is supposed to be the weakest team in the group. Well, here the U.S. plays against Iran in that last game, and it'll actually be good because we'll know how many goals Wales scored. So they'll have that amount of like, okay, we need to score 4 goals, right? We need to score maybe 5 goals and have them get scored on this many times by England. And we're going to have all those like different scenarios going on. And I think I'd rather be the team that plays against the weak team in the last game than the team that plays against them in the second game, right? Because then you get the strong one in the third one, and then the pressure would be on for them. But, I'd venture out to say that if we get the tie on Friday, we'll actually qualify. I know Wales is going to win, but even if we just have 2 points, they have 3 points, you're playing against the weak team. We'll hope like, hey, England, do us a favor and beat them, because we know you want to be first place, right? And then that makes it pretty interesting too, because even though with another tie we would have 2 points and England would have 4, Wales would have they're 4, they're going to be playing, they're going to give it their all against Wales, right? Because they're going to depend on that not only to get the first place but to actually also qualify, right? So
yeah, but
England
England
going to be determined.
If they already have, listen, if England already has 2 wins, they would already be almost like at the top of the table for goal differential anyhow, and let's just say they have 2 wins and 2 wins and a tie. Let's say we tie. They're already at the top. It's just the thing is we cannot overlook Iran. They got 2 goals against England, right? And England's they've got a good defense. They've got a good back line. You know, they've got a great strike force, obviously. So I don't know. I'm nervous all the way around until we can actually show that we're out of the group moving forward. I'm just going to have that funny feeling. It's like, give me my Tums first thing in the morning, you know, to settle my stomach. Because it's World Cup, you know. And listen, if the USA, let's just say they don't make it through, I'm going to immediately become a Mexico fan, even though I did not pick them. Because there was, who did I pick to come out of that group, Luis?
You picked Poland second, Argentina first.
That's true, because I had Argentina taking it all the way. And by the way, Jared, who picked Senegal and the Netherlands, I thought I picked Senegal, and then I looked in my memory banks, and it's like, oh no, I picked Ecuador and Netherlands to advance out of group stage. I actually thought Senegal gave Netherlands an incredible match. I thought they did a fabulous job against the Netherlands, and then they just lost gas. They ran out of steam towards the end, and it's just unfortunate, you know. But I do see Senegal being a little bit of a dark horse. But Ecuador, I know it was just Qatar, and it just looked like a high school team. But you know, I was kind of impressed with the fact that Ecuador is missing, well, who is it? Castillo? I forget. They're missing a main person. But they went on and did business anyhow, as though no, it didn't matter. So cheers to them.
Yeah, I was thinking the same exact thing. If you remember when you were like, maybe I shouldn't have picked Ecuador and whatnot, but they should have been more than 2-0, right? I mean, that game should have been 4-0.
Yeah.
Even it could have been an England-Iran situation there too. But yeah, I mean, it was really shocking to see them not be as strong too. In fact, I don't know if you guys saw halftime. A lot of people were leaving the stadium. Something you've never seen before ever in the history of inaugural games is people leaving early before the game actually ends, and then they become also the first country to lose the first ever inaugural game in history. No host country had ever lost that first game. So yeah, records are being broken.
They're not that good. They're just not that good, you know.
Yeah,
they weren't that good.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly right. Because I know they are brand new, but they need to work very hard.
It just kind of feels like that whole, yeah, we know they're hosting a party, but just let them play. You know, they're not going to beat anybody. Just let them play. They're hosting for the whole thing. They're not going to do anything.
Maybe that's why Ecuador didn't run up the score. It's because they didn't want to make a real, you know, circus. Sorry, that's something show out of the whole ordeal, right?
Well, they were robbed a goal, right? The VAR call and all that too. That should have been 3-0. Valencia should have gotten his hat trick. All awesome, right? Maybe the first player ever in history to get a hat trick in the first game, but
yeah,
unfortunately VAR was like, nah, it's their party. Don't make it any worse already. It's already gonna be a loss, but don't make it worse on them too. But I have to say, with the Senegal game earlier against Netherlands is not a tough team, in my opinion. There's one team that qualifying to the round of 16, they're going to be knocked out right away. I'm just saying, whoever qualifies, because second place, if they do manage to stay in first place, second place of Group B, which could very well be the US, right, is going to be playing against likely Netherlands, but who knows? I mean, Ecuador gave a good game. I think they're probably going to beat Netherlands based on the performance, but yeah, I was not impressed with Netherlands. This team is not. Yes, they got their 2 goals at the end, but Senegal could have won that game. And the first half, Senegal dominated the first half. So
a lot of people are saying, yeah, same thing as you. They're saying actually that Denmark is the dark horse, you know, for going farther than people expect. And it's like, oh, that's right, Denmark.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how they do, right?
Yeah.
because
we've got a whole
yeah.
month to watch all this stuff unfold and talk about, matches down the road. Because I know we're doing a podcast tomorrow night, and I don't know if we're doing one on Friday. Are we doing one on Friday or no?
I
Yeah.
believe we will actually.
Yeah, talk USA, England, and
Okay.
how that goes.
So
A hot match of a lifetime.
Yeah, oof, yeah, that one's gonna be something else. But let's go ahead and give our predictions for USA, England. Just for fun, let's see. Let's see who gets it. So, Jared, what's yours?
I'm gonna say 2-2. I mean, I cannot really give this to either one side. It's just too much of a slugfest. So I'm going 2-2.
Will?
Okay, because I remember the World Cup 2010 match between USA and England. In the past, it was 0-0, but right now, I would like to go for a draw for 2-2. In my opinion,
It was actually 1-1. Actually,
1-1
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
past. Yeah, exactly right. So a draw again, 2-2, in my opinion.
yeah. So and that one, oh yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. No. You're first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in that one, it was a 1-1 draw. Stevie G got the goal early on, and then Clint Dempsey tied it for us there towards the end. And and I would also say 1-1, replica of that same match. So.
You guys are so far more optimistic than this girl is. After watching their kids run up the score today, I'm doomsday girl. I'm saying we lose it, and it's a 2-1 loss. I see we get a goal, but I just don't see us tying. I just don't.
When do we get the goal? Is it after you're losing 2-0, or do we get the comeback done on us?
No, we do. They go ahead. They get the first goal. We tie them, and then they get a go ahead. Yeah, that's how I see it going.
I believe Harry Kane will manage to have a goal first.
Dude,
actually,
his ankles are so freaking taped up. He looks like he has grandma legs. If you look at his ankles, I mean, they're worse than mine. I'm whatever, how old I am. And, it's like at the end of the day, there's, swelling. His tape, you could see how much tape the man is held together by tape and, glue, whatever. I don't care. Look, next time he plays, look at his ankles, how well he doesn't have ankle bones anymore because of the amount of tape the man has to put on. Harry Kane. I love him. I think he's a great player. But today, when he was injured and they did a close-up of his ankles, like, oh my God, he should buy stock in the tape company. Anyhow.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you guys laugh, but that's what struck me as odd this morning when I was watching that match. It's like, dude. Anyhow, you guys can go fanboy on Harry Kane. I've actually picked him for my fantasy, one of my fantasy players on English Premier League. He's probably been in and out of my squad often. But
because
yeah.
of that? You're like, well, saved this time. You're out of my squad this week.
Yeah.
Well, better him than the internet meme favorite, Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire is not there are people that are not fans of Harry Maguire. They think he should have been, not here, and that there were others got on the English players that should have been named to the squad, and not Harry Maguire. But he held his own today, so maybe he's redeemed himself. But these young kids, the guys that have been scoring, it's just kind of a blow mind for England. I don't think they expected their youngsters to score. Because usually when you put the youngsters in, sometimes they're like, I don't know my way around, and then finding their ass with both hands while they're out there. But they didn't. Those guys actually performed and they scored for England. And it was like, everybody's doing the "We Believe," chant in England. And that's what scares me is they have that level of momentum going into Friday. And we've got that opposite thing of, oh my God, we should have won. Now we're facing England. So the mentality, if their mentality isn't right going into Friday, that's why I'm like, I think England's got the advantage.
See, my thing is that like we haven't really seen them. I mean, we haven't seen them play against the real team, right? I feel like this is more of a Czech Republic, Portland Timbers under 23 situation here, right?
I
Where we could
recall
be
that
like,
moment.
whoa.
Yes,
Oh,
I recall that moment.
I feel like that's what happened here, right? So it's kind of hard to judge them right away, right? But I mean, I guess against the U.S. and Wales, but I mean, it'll be more of a competition than Iran was, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's too early for us to really say if they're favorites or what, because we'd have to judge them in the round of 16 and who they play against, because they'll have a tough opponent, right? Whether it's like Netherlands, Ecuador, or Senegal. I think we're probably discounting Qatar at this point, so that means I lose 1 point. But
Yeah, but if you watched them
yeah.
in the Euros and all of the competitions leading up to qualifying, England was solid.
True.
So I kind of paid attention to the qualifying matches, for the the European side, the Euros. So
The Euro Cup, actually.
and England was pretty stellar. So I mean, look at the teams who are not here. They all played frickin' friendlies today. It's like if you saw the TV listing of all the, so Italy was playing, all these poor teams that didn't make the cut. They did a friendly. It's like, oh, that was lovely. Yeah. Go cry in your milk as your friends and neighbors are out, in Qatar.
And Italy lost against Austria too, 2-0.
Whoa.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're playing
Right.
and you're
Italy
losing the
yeah.
friendlies. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like,
Italy.
all right.
It is pretty terrible
Holy
for
suck.
Italy.
Yeah, but it is funny
Irish,
seeing them play.
Irish
Yeah.
won too.
Yeah.
Irish won too.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, was that
But,
yesterday that they did all those friendlies? And I
Yeah,
forget.
exactly.
Yeah, there
right.
was a couple other yesterday too, and it's kind of funny seeing them play. Like I don't think that's ever happened, where you see like a lot of countries who don't make it play amongst each other,
Yeah.
like on the day of the World Cup. But all right, I mean, I guess they're trying to have their own game too.
Yeah.
it
All
just kind of feels like in NFL how you have the Super Bowl, everybody's there, and then you have the Pro Bowl. It's like it's like the also ran tournament.
Yeah. Players have caught on that the Pro Bowl is simply a money-making venture and a way for all the players to get away and go drink.
Oh, and this is going to be the first year they're not having a Pro Bowl. They're doing away with it.
Thank goodness.
Oh,
It was
good.
humiliating.
Oh, no more consolation.
Good for them. Mhm.
Well, USA versus England this Friday, 11 a.m. Check it out. It's actually really great that probably the best game for us in this group was actually on Friday, right? Because a lot of us are off work, and it's a great day for us to be able to watch it. And anyone who wants to go to watch party, go check it out. And so, yeah, that's what we got. Hope for the best, and if we lose, then we're not officially out yet. Then we got to actually pull the calculator out, right, Sharon, and crunch those numbers based on Wales and how much they score, and then figure out if we're gonna need 3, 4, 5, and how much we're gonna need England to also help us out by, scoring on Wales. But I don't know. I feel like Wales England is gonna be closer than we think. It's not gonna be like, a goal fest. So
All right.
It could even be a tie. I've ventured out to say that.
So behind me is Bruce Murray's jersey, U.S. men's national team from 94, something like that. That's Bruce Murray's jersey right there, that blue one. I brought it out just for today, just for this podcast. He was the number 4 when he played for the U.S. men's national team. That's his jersey. Yeah.
Back in USA.
Yep.
Oh.
That is amazing.
little things, little trinkets that a girl collects along the way. And you have to give major props to Dave Willie and Brian Willie, because at the time his son Brian was the equipment ball boy person / uniform manager for the U.S. men's national team. And the players kept giving him jerseys because he was so adorable and he was young at the time. And, you know, it was like the best thing ever. He had he had a room with 2 turnstiles, like a department store loaded with men's national team jerseys from all over the world. Brian Willie is just that. Now his son, Blake Willie, who's playing for the under 14s, I want to say, for Sac Republic, got called up to the national squad. So he's in, I guess it's Spain right now. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. So the kid, generational, Brian Willie, you know, was an accomplished player, and his dad, Dave Willie, and now Blake Willie from the Academy, Sac Republic Academy, is off doing good things. So a little bit of homegrown talent, and just end this podcast, this live show, on a good note.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, that's really cool. Keep the jersey back there too, because at least we haven't lost with it being there. Maybe it's our good luck. We need any good luck that we can get for these last 2 games. So
I'll leave it right there.
Awesome.
And then also, just to add, for those of you who are watching that aren't going to be able to make it to a watch party, Friday's game will be broadcast on Fox, in Spanish on Telemundo, and also streaming on the Peacock app, more than likely the Telemundo feed.
And that Peacock app, I'm telling you, if you haven't gotten it yet, get it. Yeah, it's in Spanish and whatnot, but if you want to watch games back, I mean, they record all the games there. You can watch them on demand. So that's a great place to rewatch a game. And they also have this feature where they have the highlights as well. So if you just want to watch key moments in the match, aside, I mean, not just like the goals, but opportunities and all that, it's actually pretty cool, and it'll go and show you all that. So.
And I've also heard that they have a catch-up feature available on the Tubi app as well. TUBI. It's sort of a venture from Fox. It's been around for the past couple of years. Great free service. So if you miss the match, that's going to be another good option to catch up on it.
Oh, nice. I've heard of it too, so I'm glad they have something like that too there as well. All right, well, we'll see everyone tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Mexico-Poland game. That game is happening at 8 in the morning tomorrow, so should be a good one. Let's hope for the best. And yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in to the live show, or after the fact as well. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
See ya, folks.
Good night.
Good day, folks. Good night.
Jared?
Cue the music.
Oh, all right.
Damn, she made me do it.
Ryan.